Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is right there and then where you are right now watching this video. Welcome to part 2 of our Friends series, and I'm quite excited to have our friend back, the little tennis ball. And today we're going to deal with our hands. And our hands are an amazing set of tools, to be honest. But most of the day we hardly notice them. We notice when they are cold or when they're aching. So I just thought, let's dedicate this little video to our hands. Give them a bit of a treat. Anything painful, anything that is not bearable is a sign that you're doing too much or you're working too hard, and then come out a little bit, or just maybe this exercise is not for you. Please always take care of yourself. Health before ambition. I basically came into your drawing room today, or sitting room, wherever you have like a carpety surface to work on, because I want this ball to roll smoothly without sliding, because we're going to lean on it quite a bit. Let's get going. For the first one, come into a four-legged stand, and you can spread your hands and put them on the ground right under your shoulders. You want your knees under your hips, and ideally tuck your toes. If your wrists are a bit tender today, then feel free to just come onto your fists. So you place your tennis ball under your shoulder and you put your palm on it. Start with little circles outwards. Not much weight on them. One direction. I'm doing my 8s again, but you can do 20, 25, 30, and then go the other way around. I'm going too quick now. You can tell the ball is moving out. So go as fast or slow as you are comfortable with. And ideally the ball stays under our shoulder, so there's nothing wrong with readjusting. Bring your right hand down, left hand, same procedure, gentle circles outwards first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to the middle, and we learned that already. Other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Part 2. Come closer to the ball. You can sit on your heels if that's uncomfortable for you. Grab yourself a cushion. Make sure your position is nice and stable. And then the lower end of your palm presses into the tennis ball, trying to squash it a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your fingers are all loose here. It's just the palm, the lower part of the palm pressing, and you stabilize your stand here with the other arm. So you're safe anytime. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the leverage here makes the fingers come up a bit. Roll the ball into the middle of your palm, so it's more in touch with the roots of your fingers. And now you press with the middle of your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once more. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now Just roll the ball in your cupping hand a bit. Just let it circle and then move it over to the other side. Support yourself here. Place the ball under your lower palm and then squeeze down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is why it's so important that you get like a carpety type surface. On a wooden floor, the ball would slip away and you might injure yourself. Move the ball into your palm. The roots of your fingers are pressing into the ground, fingertips touching the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Making space. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here again. Just form a cage for the tennis ball and circle it a bit in this cage on the ground. Give yourself a moment to feel if there's any noticeable difference in your hands. Next one. For that I want my forearm to be parallel to the ground. And if this is an uncomfortable position for you, you probably have a coffee table. Make sure it doesn't have wheels. It has to be a steady surface. We want a bit of a coarse tablecloth or a rug or anything that also gives you stability so the ball can't slide away, because we're going to put pressure on it. Now bring the ball close to the edge of your table and you bring your palm onto it, just where your finger joints begin. And then you interlock your left fingers with your right hand, but we want a bit of pressure going into the tennis ball. All right, press into the ball and then move back and forth. I wish the table didn't move, but it does now. And you're rocking, pressing and rocking back and forth, and you always watch, is the pressure all right? Could it be more? Could it be less? And when you notice it gets difficult to control, bring the ball and your forearm on top, back a bit, and keep on going. And I'm always rocking back and forth. So by now I feel I need a bit more support here. Then I just let go of my hand and I keep pressing onto my arm. This is going too far, readjust and keep going. And just see where you want to go, a bit more to the outside, a bit more to the inside. And if there are little lumps that you'd like to tackle further, then stay with the little lumps and give them a bit more time and massage up to the elbow. If that does you well, do it twice and experiment with going along the inside or the outside of the arm and the middle. You can do that up to 3 times. Just don't do it every day. And then turn your hand around, and now you need to be extra careful. Make sure you're nicely grounded. And here you don't interlock, you just hold your left hand on the right hand, and then you also start rocking back and forth. Readjust when necessary so you have a good angle. Back and forth. When did you last massage your forearms. This is a bit slippery. Safety before ambition. So you can tell that the ball is moving quite a bit, and so is my table. I hope your table is more stable. Okay, other side, I'm going to do it on the floor. If you like sitting on the floor, then this is your way to do it. Ball on the ground, palm on top, upper part of the palm. Right hand interlocks with your left hand. Move back a bit so your forearm is in line with the floor, parallel. You might have to adjust a bit more often than on the table, and then start rocking. From the roots of your fingers over the palm. Gently with your wrist and those carpal bones around there. So I'm moving in a comfortable tempo for me. If you want to go slower to be safe, do that. But I practiced, of course, so I will be a bit faster. All the way up to the elbow. Repeat it once or twice. I proceed with the other side. Bring your hand on top of the ball. Just lay your right hand on top there, and then gently bring your elbow down. Gently start rocking. And while you're rocking back and forth in your hand, you can also go sideways a little bit. So you catch the space in between your fingers. Oh. I should have done that more often. And then gently over your wrist. Only give as much pressure as feels comfortable. And here the hand on top is more for stabilizing, less pressure, so the ball won't slip away. And you can tell here on the ground, the muscles still are curvy and pop the ball around, but it feels a bit more stable. That's why I like doing it on the floor. I know it's not for everybody. Then bring your hands to your knees, and now just perceive just what your hands are telling you. How do your hands feel, your forearms, and maybe even your shoulders are already responding to what we have been doing. Next, come into a four-legged stand. Again, toes tucked under as usual, onto your fists. Start with your right hand. We now want to bring the hand to the ground, and we want to do that with our fingers pointing towards our knee. So right hand comes under your shoulder with your fingers pointing to your right knee. If this is all your wrist wants to do today, that's fine. Just don't mess with the signals of your body. And then inhale and try and lift your palm up like you're peeling away from the ground. Exhale, peel back in. Inhale, peel away from the ground. Exhale, peel back in. And I stretch my fingers and bring them as close together as possible, because this is good for me. If your fingers are spread wide and your wrist is aching, try and bring them together so they are closely aligned. And give them a few times of peeling away from the floor on the inhale and back on the exhale. Then swap sides. Left hand, fingers pointing backwards towards your left knee. Then start the peeling again. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make sure there's no weight whatsoever on your hand. All your weight is on your legs and your other arm. Just give it a bit of movement into a direction that you normally don't have. And then again, give yourself a moment. Feel into your hands. Does it feel comfortable? Would you like another go? Be careful. So, one last exercise I'd like to share with you, because now I think our lower backs might complain about not having been involved. So we want to stretch out a bit. We're still working our hands, our forearms and our shoulder. And you come back down onto your hands and knees under your hips, toes tucked, left arm under your right shoulder, right arm under your left shoulder with the ball. And now you're going to roll the ball forwards, stretching out. Your left arm starts bending and you press the ball into the ground. Your shoulder will come up and now you pull your upper arm backwards like you want to pull the bone back into the socket of its joint into the shoulder socket. Inhale 2 to 3 times. Let go and come back. Your core muscles are working. Bring your soft ribs together. Pull the navel to the spine. Reach out. Straight forwards. Your left arm bends. Then press the ball into the ground and pull the upper arm back. Pull your arm back. Don't move. It's just an idea, and you can tell that the shoulder is coming away from the ear backwards again. 2 to 3 breaths and roll back. Give it a moment. There should be quite a lot of heat now in your shoulder joint. And if you're really pulling your navel to the spine and your toes are pressing into the ground, then you're working the rest of your body as well. And this is just what we want. One more time. Roll forwards. Press into the ground and pull your upper arm back. 2 to 3 breaths. And roll back. Let go. Sit back on your heels if you can. Get yourself a cushion. My arm feels lighter, warmer, a bit more vibrant. How about yours? Other side. By the way, if your floor is too hard and your knees are hurting, then use a folded blanket or a towel or something to cushion your knees a bit, please. Knees under hips, arms under shoulder. Left hand grabs the ball and your toes are tucked under and press into the ground. Navel to the spine, head to the midline and roll the ball forwards. Press into the ground and then pull your upper arm back. Don't move the ball, just move your shoulder. That opens up and strengthens your shoulder. 2 to 3 breaths, roll back and give yourself a moment. An alternative is to come down, then you got your forearm on the ground, elbow under your shoulder, and you roll forwards from there. Your range of motion might be a bit bigger and it might feel more comfortable in your shoulder. Press into the ground and pull your upper arm back. But press the ball into the ground where you first ended up. 2 to 3 breaths and roll back. Come onto your forelegs. Once more. Roll forwards, press into the ground, pull the upper arm backwards, like you're trying to get the head of the bone back into its socket. And then come back. Come into a comfortable seated position on the ground or on a chair, on a cushion, and try to connect with your sit bones to the ground you're sitting on. Close your eyes for a moment and turn your palms up and allow your body to process the work it's been doing. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Your thumbs may or may not touch your chest. Feel the warmth of your fingers against each other. Perceive the little pillow of warm air between your palms. And then bring your thumbs up to your forehead for a clear mind, and to your heart center for a warm and open heart, and to your lips for clear and loving communication. Namaste. And if you feel you didn't have enough, then re-energize yourself by clapping and pounding your hands onto the floor and really getting the blood flow going again.